Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm Minister Ginger London. Welcome. Thank you so much. Come on in, join me. Thank you. This is the Diamond Coaching Academy mini courses. It gives you an inside look into the Diamond Coaching Academy. As you know, we are celebrating Black History Month, and we're doing Black people helping Black people, and we're doing free 3.5 weeks of life coach training beginning on March 12th through April the 1st, and I'm excited. And so we're just going to give you a little insight into the Diamond Coaching Academy and what goes on in the academy. And tonight we're going to talk to you a little bit about the coach's heart, and and the five characteristics of a successful coach. And so this is a mini class, if you will, or a mini session. This is just to give you some insight into how the training takes place inside of the Diamond Coaching Academy. So thank you so much for joining me on tonight. And if you're watching this replay, thank you for watching the replay. And so we're going to get right into it. We are celebrating Black History Month. We're doing this because I believe that the Black community, the African American community, is sitting on its wealth. There's a wealth of talent and gifts and abilities inside of our communities that are going untapped, that are lying dormant, that are not being used. And some of that is within you. People who are called and who know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have a desire to help other people to move forward in life and to do better in life, in business, in ministry, in their careers. And so, for whatever reason, you may not have started that yet, or maybe you started and only got to a certain point and you need a little help to move further to advance yourself. And this is a golden opportunity to do that. It is my pleasure to be able to offer the life coach training to you for free. And we'll talk a little bit more about that after the session on tonight. Um, I'm offering it to you free. Um, and it is no cost and it's not watered down. It's the training. And so if you have ever thought about becoming a life coach, if you are aspiring to be one, if you're interested in it, this is a great opportunity to get your feet wet, to actually engage in a class, a training, to see whether or not this is really for you. Some of you have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience in business, in ministry, in your professional careers that can be monetized, that can help other people succeed and move forward, and you're sitting on it, or you just don't know how to actually get it out there to the people that you can be a blessing to. Remember, I said in one of my other teachings, I always say this: we are reward to somebody. We can't service everybody, but the people that we are assigned to, we are a reward to them. We have the solution to their problem. We have the answer to their questions. We have the wisdom for life that they need. We have the steps that they need to take to advance in their careers and in their professions. We have that answer. But sometimes we don't stir the gifts up on the inside of us to allow the Spirit of God to use us so that we can maximize our purpose and maximize our gifts and abilities so that we can bear great fruit, and so that we can actually do greater works in the earth. And so that's why during this month, as we celebrate Black History Month, I don't want you to have any excuses about I can't afford to get trained. I don't, it costs too much. You have an opportunity for 3.5 weeks to get trained for free, right? So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's just get right into it. On tonight, we are actually talking about um, inside of the coach's heart, and you're going to see a picture up here of the heart, and I got it numbered each side, so you'll see where number one, you see number two, and you see number three. So that's how I'm going to go in and talk about the different areas of the coach's heart that you see on the diagram or on the graphic picture, and talk about what does that mean when you become a life coach and when you're coaching people. What do these sayings mean in the coaching profession from the coach who's actually saying these things and committing themselves to being able to service their clients well. So if you look at number one, it says in the very middle, the purple side, it says my clients pay for my time and my expertise, my heart is free, right? So when I'm talking to you, when I'm talking about being a coach, right, my clients pay for my time and my expertise, my heart is free. What that means is that I'm not getting over on my clients, and whatever I charge and whatever they're paying, I'm I'm good with that, right? So my heart is clear. Remember, we did Rejuvenate Me challenge earlier in January, and I used the scripture from Psalm 51. It says, "Create in me a clean heart and renew a steadfast spirit or right spirit within me." Create in me a clean heart, God. Make sure that my heart is free from debris, it's free from garbage, it's free from hurts and pains that will get in the way of me servicing the people that I'm called to service and that I'm assigned to service. So in that in that purple circle, my clients pay for my time and my expertise. My heart is free. That means that my heart is clean. That has been recreated. It has been constructed to be free of anything that would cause me to be a disservice to my clients. But to the far left of that, I would encourage and support and believe in you, even or especially when you do not. That's one thing that the coach does, right? They believe in their client. It may take you a minute with some people to actually motivate them and push them and get them to believe that they can do what they want to do, reach the goals that they want to reach. But as a coach, if you resolve within your spirit, I will encourage and support and believe in you. And you're talking to your client when you say that, even when you do not, right? And a part of coaching, especially if you're coaching from a spiritual place, the word of God says deep draws unto deep, right? So when you know that you know that you know that this is your assignment, you have that spiritual gift that's able to penetrate into the core of that person's being, to motivate them, encourage them, and empower them, and to reassure them that you have their best interests at heart, that you are there to encourage and support them and to believe in them, even if they have a struggle in believing in themselves. If you saw the earlier teaching this morning where I talked about the 9 ways to help somebody to overcome self-doubt, you know, a lot of times self-doubt is there because they don't believe in themselves, because they struggle with really accepting that they've been gifted or that they can move forward in life. And so they resolve within themselves to stay mediocre or stay at a certain plateau or level in life, and they never progress forward to become who they're ultimately to become, or to experience the greater works that are assigned to their lives. You go at the top of that heart, that section where it occurs, your critic does not scare me. I see the strong, kind, brave, inspiring, unique person that you are. Right? When you have a client and somebody is getting in their ear, in their negative and discouraging them and talking down to them and always criticizing something that they're doing, criticizing the goals that they want to attain in life or attain in their career, they can become paralyzed by the voice of the critic. You, the coach, can't do that, right? You can't become scared of what the critic is saying to your client. You have to have enough within you to move past the voice of the critic and then empower your words. Your conversation should be more powerful than the critic's words. And so it's important that you be able to see beyond what the critic is saying and see into the heart of the person that you're coaching. I see the strong, the kind, the brave, the inspiring, unique person that you are. And it's your words as a coach in those sessions that when you say these things and they are meaningful and they're authentic, then you begin to penetrate and begin to help them to release and break down those walls that are getting in the way of them living a successful life. Then to the right of my clients, it says, my goal is to help you get focused on what you love, value, and want from life. That's the goal of the coach. The client may have a different goal, and the goal might be to get to where they want to go in life. But your goal as the coach is to help them get focused on what they love, what they value, and what they want from life. If I can help you get focused, in another teaching I taught, I said, what you focus on, you'll master. So if you have if the client has a particular goal that they want to attain, as a coach, if you can get them focused on what needs to take place to reach that goal, if the client becomes focused, then they will get what they want from life. When they're focused and they walk out the steps to help bring that goal to a manifestation. And then right underneath in the pink, I will hold you accountable for what you say and for what you say you are going to do. And that is the challenge I can tell you of every really good coach, is to hold your client accountable. It's real easy to say, listen, if you don't do it, you don't do it, right? It's real easy to say, well, I'm the coach, you got to do it. But the challenge is to hold that client accountable for what they say that they are going to do. And I hold you accountable for when you come to the next session. I'll say, how did you do with last week's assignment, right? What steps did you take? Okay? Did you make your social media posts, right? When I ask you those questions, now you are challenged, because now you got to tell me either you did it or you didn't do it. If you didn't do it, now we're about to dive into why you didn't do it. So now I got some more power questions I'm going to ask you that's going to make you self-reflect and realize that you're not shortchanging me, the coach. You're shortchanging your journey to reaching your goals, because you're allowing something to get in the way that keeps you from fulfilling the commitment that you make in the coaching session, right? So my goal as a coach is, I will hold you accountable for what you say and what you say you are going to do. That's one of the things that every dynamic, powerful coach does. Holds you accountable. I don't care. I've had people who 3 weeks in a row didn't do anything, right? Nothing they said they were going to do, nothing they committed to doing, they didn't do it. You can't become frustrated early on in the coaching relationship with that. You have to be able to have the right words to empower them, to question them, so they can step back and say, you know what? I said I wanted help. I said I needed a life coach. I said I needed a business coach. I said I needed a recovery coach. I said I need a relationship coach. Now I have to step back as a client and say, am I really ready to be coached? Because if I am, then what I say I'm committing to, I need to actually do it. Right? All right. So number 2, if you go over, start in the dark pink. It says, I am passionate about coaching and provide a space for you to create a life you love. If you're not passionate about it, if you don't like people, if you're not passionate about helping people, if you're not passionate about motivating people and giving people the strategy and the steps that they need to move forward, you're going to struggle as a coach. You have to have a passion for coaching, or for the type, especially the type of coaching that you say you want to do. You have to have a passion for people. You can't hate people and dislike people and say you want to coach them. Be a life coach, that's not going to work, right? You can't say, if you're in ministry, I hate ministry, and think you're going to be successful in ministry, or that you're going to provide ministry service that's going to empower people to build their faith and live godly, right? That's not going to work. You have to be passionate about coaching, and you got to provide a space for your client to create the life that they love. And the life purpose, our relationship is one of mutual respect. I love and accept you as you are, and I do not judge, right? You do not judge. And what I mean by judge is the word critical. You don't become critical towards your client. But there are some aspects of the coaching relationship, where you're going to actually you will have to make some judgment calls, right? Meaning taking a microscopic look into the coaching relationship, their behaviors, what they're committing to, whether or not they're doing it. And you have to go in between the lines and make a judgment call about what might be going on. You question them and say, hey, listen, this is what it appears to look like here. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there are some judgment calls that you'll have to make. But when I say judgment here, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about being critical, where you're talking down to them, making them feel less than, making them feel like you're superior. You're superior to them, and they're just beneath you, and you ought to be glad that I'm coaching you, that kind of thing. So I'm not talking, that's what I'm talking about there. Then it says, my clients are the experts of their lives. You are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. And that is true. But as the coach, what you have to do is you're the expert that comes in there that helps them to awaken that creativity and to pay attention to the uh, resources available and the resourcefulness within them and recognize who they are as a whole. Right? So if they knew how to do this on their own, they would not need a life coach. Right? So when the person pays you to for a session, a group session, an individual one-on-one session, special VIP days, whatever they're paying for, they're not paying for you to just tell them they have everything in them that they need and why don't you just go ahead and do it. Nobody's paying for that. They're paying for you to be the expert, to either provide them with the knowledge that they need, the system, the strategies, or you to be the expert to help them to awaken the gifts on the inside of them or to stir up the gifts on the inside of them so that they can pay attention to what is already assigned to their lives and so they'll know how to walk that out. All right, and then we come down to 3, going to the far right. Change is both challenging and thrilling. I will help you overcome your obstacles and access the joy and excitement of life. Right? Change is inevitable. It's going to take place. Obstacles can get in the way, but what you have to do is help your client to access that joy that comes, that they can experience through all of these obstacles, right? Some things are certainly unbearable. Some things are traumatic and all those things, but there are some obstacles that get in the way that are just in the way temporarily. And if you can help them to move around that or to move through it, they will experience the joy that is purpose for their lives. Then I will help you to learn to trust and befriend you, to put yourself first and let go of negative baggage. That's very important. It goes back when you're dealing with your customer or your client, it all comes down to what's going on in the mind, right? Because whatever a man thinks in his heart, which is synonymous with mind, so is he. So, if you cannot help them to do a mindset reset, then your coaching relationship will be challenging because you will be speaking empowerment and speaking motivation, and their minds will be receiving something different, and definitely will be saying something different. They'll say, "Oh, that's great for some people, but that's not gonna work for me," right? So you have to make sure that you help them to get past the negative baggage, and then at the very bottom, all of you are welcome in your coaching. All of you is welcome in your coaching session, meaning the individual person. Your thoughts, your fears, your feelings, failures, and secret yearnings are safe with me. Every coaching session must be confidential. There's usually a confidential statement that the client signs that nothing is shared outside of that session. You definitely commit to not divulging people's personal desires and goals and whatever it is that they're going through. There's a lot of confidentiality that takes place or should be the foundation of the coaching session. So when they coach with you, no matter what their thoughts are, even if they're irrational, whatever their fears are, whatever their feelings are, whatever failures that have taken place in their lives, whatever secret yearnings that they have, when they talk to you as a coach, all of that should be safe with you. There is nothing that should be divulged outside of that coaching session without permission. Because when you do that, you automatically break trust with your client, and they don't trust you, and it's hard to rebuild that and come back around that. And so on the last one to the far left, I guess in the purple, I will help you try new things, take risks, get out of your comfort zone, and soar. That's what every great coach will do. And you can become a great coach and do all of these things that we're talking about right here. But every great coach will help you to try something new, to take risks, and to get out of your comfort zone. It's outside of that comfort zone that your client will experience greater works, right? It's outside of the comfort zone that you will experience greater works. It's outside of the comfort zone where things will change, go to a whole nother level for you and for your clients. And so this is inside of the coach's heart. And so I just want to share a couple more things with you in case you're thinking about becoming a life coach. And I'm strictly when I share this with you, I'm talking about being in that coaching relationship. When I talk about the 5 characteristics of a successful coach, right? These are the 5 characteristics of a successful coach. Number one, I'm here and I'm totally focused on you. The coaching session is always about the client. So as a great coach, right, as an experienced coach, you're in the coaching session, but your focus is on the client. What is the client's um, uh, goal? What is the goal that the client wants to attain? What is their reason for wanting to be coached? What do they want to talk about in the coaching session on today? What is it that you're bringing to this coaching session that we need to discuss and dialogue and talk about? Number two, we aren't all that different. Don't let them get to the place, or you should not get to the place where you feel superior to your coaching client. When I say we aren't all that different, what I mean by this is that we all have experiences, we all have obstacles that we have to overcome. They may not all be the same, but we pretty much all go through a certain cycle of life where we experience different, similar feelings and emotions and experiences, even though they may be uniquely different, right? So they're in the same category. So don't be so superior to your client that you're superwoman, superman. There's no way that I would have ever gone through all of what you're going through, or I would have been got out of this. I would have been gone to the next level. I don't know what's holding you back. So you want to make sure that they understand that we aren't that different. Even though I'm the coach and you're paying me, right? Or you coming to me for coaching, we're not that different. I've had my own experiences. I've had my own disappointments. I've had my joys, my thrills, my excitements. I've attained my goals. It's the same. I'm sitting in the same position that you're sitting in. The only difference is now I'm helping you to go through yours. All right, number 3, let's collaborate. Here, the coaching relationship is coactive, right? It's not the coach doing all the work. It's not the client doing all the work. You're going to come together and you're going to collaborate about what should be taking place or should be happening in the coaching sessions, especially if they're one-on-one. Your client will have goals that they want to attain, or whatever they want to talk about in the coaching session. But you're going to come together and decide together what is the best route. Hey, how do you want to do this? You want to take one area of your life at a time, or if I'm showing you a system to be able to get to do a particular thing in ministry or business, hey, you want to do one step at a time, you want me to go over it, how do you want to do it? And you bring in the client in because they ultimately have to make the decision about what they want to commit to, and they're not going to commit to something that they didn't have a hand in. So even in determining what steps or they're going to take, or how the coaching relationship is going to go as it relates to them reaching their goals, you want them to be a part of that collaboration. All right, number 4, let's make a plan. The goal of coaching is to move people forward. You can't move somebody forward without a plan. So here is where you and your client come together. After it has been determined what the coaching sessions are going to be about, now you have to make a plan of action. Remember, I said people learn by following systems and steps. So coaching is not just you coming to blow steam and vent. You go to counseling for that. But when you come to coaching, it's about moving forward in life. And so when we make a plan, we make the plan together. And there are times as a coach where you truly are the expert, right? You really will have to make the plan, help the client make the plan. If I'm coming to you for business strategies, I don't want you to tell me I already know what to do. I don't want to hear that. I want you to be the expert strategist, business strategist. And I want you to tell me step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, right? If I'm coming to you as a recovery to you, and you're a recovery coach, I don't want you to tell me, all I have to do is pray. I want you to tell me, what steps do I need to take to overcome this addiction? What step do I need to take to make sure that my sobriety, that I maintain it? I'm looking to you to be the expert to speak into my life. And I'm going to dialogue back with you, but I'm expecting your words to awaken something on the inside of me as the client that lets me know I'm connected to the right person. This is the right coach that I'm talking to. And then number 5, I know someone. Every great coach, when they get to the place where they've, I say, maxed out, if you will, when they get to an area in their client's life that they're not skilled at or they don't have any knowledge of, every great coach networks well. There's a networking circle that every great coach is in. So when I get to the place, well, I can't service you 100% from everything within me, then I need to refer you out. And I'm okay with that. So I have a great, strong network of other coaches and other coaches, counselors, therapists, even those in ministry. It depends on what you're coming to the coaching session for. I have a network of like-minded people that I can refer someone to so that the person who's experienced in that particular area can take it from there, right? I don't say, oh, give me a minute, let me go research and I'm going to come back. I'm going to send you to the hand. I'm going to send you to another expert to deal with the part of the coaching relationship that I may not be familiar with or that I'm not knowledgeable of or skilled in. So I'm not embarrassed to say that, and certainly not embarrassed to do it. So every great coach will know someone. They will have a great networking system that is in place, and they know how to gracefully and successfully transfer or refer people out, their clients out to people who can service them better in that particular area. So here are some basic 5 characteristics of a successful coach. You learn a little bit more about this in the Diamond Coaching Academy as we go into detail, a little bit more detail on each one of these 5 characteristics. And so I just wanted to share some basic information with you, give you a sneak peek inside the Diamond Coaching Academy, and to take a look at what we deal with, what we talk about, what we dialogue, and how the training goes in the Diamond Coaching Academy. The 3.5 weeks of training will be intense, but very informative. And what you learn in those 3.5 weeks, you can actually get started, or if you follow the plan, you will actually have started coaching by the time we get to the 3.5 weeks. Most people who are interested in life coaching or executive coaching or whatever type of adjective you want to put in front of the word coach usually have some information, some knowledge, some experience, some skill set that they can actually use right now and get started right now without any hesitation or ado. They can actually get started. So that's part of what the training is. It helps you to recognize that you are already ready as it relates to what you possess in your spirit. All you're doing in training is learning how to structure it in such a way that you can present it to someone to be able to help them. When you go into the doctor's office, he ain't just going off the top of his head. He's been trained well. So he knows everything from how you should sign in at the front desk all the way to when you make it back to the exam room. And when you get into the exam room, he knows everything to ask you. He knows what to do with the stethoscope. He knows where to place it. He tells you how to breathe. You know, all of those things. And so it's the same with you. You have the knowledge, the experience, the expertise. It's just about structuring it so that you can actually help someone with it. So before we leave, I just want to share with you a little bit about it. The Diamond Coaching Academy. If you're interested, the registration information link is in the description of this live stream. And so if you go back and look in the description, you will find the links. If you click it, it'll take you over to the page that will tell you everything that you need to know about the upcoming Black People Helping Black People free basic life coach training. And here's where you're going to learn how to spiritually use your gifts, your talents, and knowledge to help bring transformation into the lives of African Americans. And so I'm excited. I want you to sign up. There are 2 ways to register. You can register, one for free, where it's totally free. And then another way that you can register is if you would like to receive the course materials. And that's the training manual, the workbook, as well as the business forms that you're going to use in coaching with your coaching business or ministry. that is $97, and there is a payment plan. And so, just like being upfront with you, I know you hear free, and you think, oh, well, okay, but you know, if you want the training materials, which is a lot, then normally it's $697. So I'm doing it for 97. You only have until February the 28th to actually register, and for it after the 28th registration closes, because then I have to get everything ready to get started on March 12th. So you have up until February the 28th to actually register for this training. So it's through the whole month of February, for the rest of the month of February rather, where you can actually register. So I'll be on a couple of times up until then, giving you a sneak peek inside of the Diamond Coaching Academy, and I may do a live Q&A, so that if you want to ask a question or post a question in the comment section, you can, so that I can answer your question. As you know, I always have all these gadgets at one time. It's just, there's nothing else you can do, right? You have to have everything: a phone, a tablet, and a desktop, and a laptop. You're streaming on all these different platforms. You have to be able to see what's going on each one of the platforms. So thank you, everybody, for joining me for Inside the Coach's Heart. I want you to really think about it. Listen to the replay if you need to. Search your heart. The number one question that you want to answer right now before you make the decision to get trained as a life coach it's maybe one or two. The first one is, do you like people? You don't like people, this is not it, right? And then the second question is, what do I think about people? In other words, what is my philosophy about people? Do you believe people can change? Do you believe people can be transformed? What do you believe about people? Do you believe they can be motivated enough to take the steps they need to live successful lives? And success for everybody is different. So the main question is, what do I believe about people? What you believe about people is going to show up in how you service people. So if you don't think people can change, you don't think people are good, you don't think they can take on godly traits, characteristics, and traits, you're not going to do well servicing them. Because the minute they don't do something that you think they should do, or that you suggested or recommended in coaching, it's going to show up, right? It's going to show up in that coaching conversation. It's going to show up in your attitude towards the client. It's going to show up in your attitude, even when they don't see you. When you're logging in to do the call, or waiting on them to call in, it's going to show up. It's going to show up if you're doing a live Zoom and they see you. It's going to show up in your body language. It's going to show up. So make sure that you write down what it is. Even if you bullet point it, you need a philosophy about people. What do you believe about people? What do you think about people changing? What do you think about people in general? Or do they have a good nature? Do you think people are honest? Do you think they can change? What do you think about people? That will tell you a lot about how you would service people in this industry or in any service industry. Because you are going to service people based on what you believe about people, period. So I want to leave you with that. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on this evening. We'll come back with some more little mini teachings, if you will. But just remember, everybody, that you have till February the 28th to register for Black People Helping Black People Life Coach Training. It's 3.5 weeks. It starts March 1st, March 12th, and it goes all the way to April 1st. So it's March 12th to April the 1st, 3.5 weeks. Take care, everybody. Have a great, awesome evening. God bless you.